Okay, so trying to do some other things, and I just noticed something very interesting about this Mastery Rank 13 weapon. Tradable? I think this comes down to the fact it's a baro weapon. The normal one is tradable, but this is something they've never done before. A built primed weapon being tradable is very interesting, especially since, well, it goes from 140 damage to 210. The crit chance has gone up. The crit status, crit multiplier has gone up. The status has gone up. Everything about this is better than the standard one, including the looks. Even down to the fact that this has, come on, one barrel on it. This has two. You can see the split in the middle. There are two parts to build this, the barrel and the receiver. Obviously, you'll need the blueprint as well to find out where these drop. They drop from certain relics. Go to the codex, go to relics, and just type in Zylok, and it will come up with the relics required and where the relics drop. So, build. No. Build now. We have some answers. We have some questions we need answered. Mainly, is it at all possible to actually sell these? Because under items, you can actually sell certain weapons. Only at rank 0, if you put any experience on them whatsoever. 3 affinity, 1 affinity, 0.1 of an affinity, it's no longer tradable, and it will appear here as untradable. Oh my... Well, the Zylok Prime is tradable not only in part form, because of course you can trade the parts for this. I can't search the parts for the Zylok because I've just built it. Let's take the companion weapon to this, the Mass Eater Prime. Not only can you trade the parts needed to actually build it and the blueprint for it, but you can actually... Because there it is. So this weapon is tradable built. I'm glad that's something they've left in there, but that's a first. But just having the Zylok in hand and equipping, going to equip the Zylok Prime, you can see the difference. Bigger magazine, more crit multiplier, more status, more impact, puncture. It is more slash based. I would say more than it was before, because now it does more damage. I do not know what polarities were on this before, but it will now have, hopefully, more. It has a V and a dash, so it comes with 2 polarities on it already. Ooh, I'm getting tingles at the thought of this thing, to be honest. Oh wow, how I have actually kind of missed the Zylok. Weapons like this, I'm never amazing with. Once I've used them for a few weeks, I do get slightly better, but it's just, there's something about a single shot, one-shotting an enemy, that just makes you smile. It doesn't always do that, though. You need a lot of other, let's call them Warframe perks, to actually be able to do this. And by Warframe perks, I mean more like abilities and everything else that increase the crit chance, which is what I'm basically doing here to cheat this, which was slightly weird. But it more comes down to the fact that it only has a 34.4% crit chance, which for the record is why this is currently not installed. That, and I do need to polarize this for a D. And I'm not sure where that's going to go, because I'm not getting rid of Augur Pact. The extra 90% damage comes in great. I basically built it for status using the dual stat elemental mods, all 4 of them, in basically whatever configuration to the enemy you're going up against. I would basically say, that's good for Grenier, because corrosive. That's good for just running around doing things like, I don't know, same thing I do every time. To be fair, infested, yeah, their heads are a little bit annoying to actually hit, but it basically takes them all out, hence the reason I tend to have that kind of setup on there. But building it more towards the status side, I think I basically did the same thing with the normal Zylok. This was an impressive upgrade over the standard Zylok, which I'm really happy to see. Like everybody else, I love when a Prime comes out and it has the extra polarities, it does a little bit extra damage, and has other perks, like the increased magazine capacity. It's a noticeable increase. when you're using it. A hugely noticeable increase when using it. I loved the Zylok. The only reason I took it off is because, like everybody else, I'm just kind of using the Nucor because the Kuva Nucor, it literally does exactly what it does. It nukes all. And that's basically where I'm assuming the name came from, because that's what it was designed to do. Primary for accuracy, secondary for close range, hence the Nucor, because of close range it arcs between the enemies, takes them out very quickly, and melee for even closer enemies. This, I love using this thing at range. Oh, it's so much fun. It is basically a primary version of the Cyberus, which is exactly what it's kind of designed to be. It's what it looks like, it's kind of what it works like, and it's... would it be more damaging? That one's questionable. Very questionable, because it kind of just is. With the... I'm trying to remember what the Zylok actually has. Oh yeah, 80 damage. Or the Cyberus Prime that has 88. Or the Deck Cyberus. Two of those missing. No, there's not. It was the third year. So, yeah, second year. So, yeah, anyway. 75 damage. Yeah. That's what I mean by slight increase, but not. But then again, Cyberus is actually better than this is as a weapon because it has more crit. And once the crit starts to kick in, yeah, it actually kind of deals more damage. Still prefer the Zylok over the Cyberus every day. Should you retire your Kuva Nucor for this? It depends how good of a shot you are at landing those headshots. If you can land the headshot pretty much every time, yeah. Because this is more of a mid to long range style secondary instead of a close to mid range secondary. I've said it for years. Primary is long range, secondary is mid range, melee is close range. Because that's basically what it is. This works good at close range. This works good at long range. This is what a secondary should be. A good weapon at taking out your enemies no matter how far away they are. The firing of it is a little bit weird. If you just pull the trigger, it will fire both rounds from this at once. If you fire it once, hold the trigger in, it will then fire the second round. Reminds me a lot of the Tigris. Ooh, now the Tigris Prime is a good close range weapon. And that kind of second round on this is probably one of the reasons I like this so much. It does exactly what it says. It's a lightweight weapon that packs a punch worthy of its golden design. I may have it doing half the damage than the normal one does. I mean, literally. But that comes down to multi-shot. Multi-shot on a single fire weapon, I would much rather put something like the 90% damage mod in there, hence Auger Pact, because it's going to increase each round's damage rather than giving it a slight chance of having a second round. Visually it looks good, it's got a lot of damage, and yeah, it's in Conan form? That's a whole other thing that's going to make this so much better. The Zylok with a Incarnon on it is good. The Zylok Prime with an Incarnon Genesis device on it, yeah, that should be amazing. It does say I have one, which I did think was kind of weird. But I'm not putting it on it just yet. That's some fun for another time. And with that, we'll leave this off here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.